What's up, everybody? This is Red Devil 23 coming with you with a video real quick. It's about omnipotence, omnipotence, but I'm gonna get to that later. But I want you to watch this video by the boy Ab-Stract section. Good video. He made good videos. So, good channel. He made good videos. Go watch him and subscribe. Raise his he almost at 1,000. It was good. Not kidding. But we're gonna watch the video. This is reaction about something, and you see X lodging the living fast. He said 80 omnipotence. You see on the tag, it say Rukia Bleach and Naruto. It's supposed to be like an Ada versus Rukia. Let's see how it goes. Ada one shot to leave it. Rukia had, this is Snake. Snake said Rukia had froze her body in order to stop tears from spreading. This is because she was able to resist with some off with her willpower. Willpower was not enough to get past Ada charm. She would be enhanced in an anchor on Bankai in response.
I really don't understand hacks, and especially hacks cross-verse, because this conversation is both telling and disappointing, and it's really showing a lack of understanding of how these concepts work and interact. Now, inflation. It's a good conversation, guys.
No disrespect.
So, Eight is from Boruto. Then Zach says, even if we ignore the fact that Reiatsu can negate hacks, there are tons of characters that can bypass Ada's lovability. One of my favorite examples is Rukia. And then, oh yeah, that's right. Ida's revelation. How scaling does Ada have? Why would it work with Ada's ability? What feats in scaling does Ada have?
So, to start right here, I'm going to answer this question. Then I'm going to let the video play for a little bit. I'm going to let you see how his reaction plays for certain things. And yeah, etc. etc. Based off what? How would you prove in this? How potent is her ability? It's a reality warping. It takes somebody desire and turn it into reality of their will. It's pretty potent enough. It's said to work on everybody against except blood relatives and also Sukis. And we see they work on everybody. Certain people, we ain't got all answers. We ain't gonna talk about it. What feat and stealing does Ada have? She have, cause she just started, she really ain't do much. And every time she been in the series, she have not done much. But when she used her charm ability, literally, cause anybody seen her, she get charmed. But she also unmistakably used omnipotence, and it spread across the Naruto world into another universe, to another dimension. I'm just saying another dimension. I mean, it's cross dimensions. It can go cross dimension. And if you want to say that dimension is in that same universe, let's go cross the universe. Why would it work on a spiritual being? Well, chakra uses spiritual energy, and I'm not gonna go into much with that detail, but omnipotence is a divine power. Most likely it uses some form of yin and yang. If y'all don't know what yin yang is, yang is basically putting life in something, and then yin is creating something from nothing, you know. It's like life and dark, you know what I'm saying? And Naruto also had the yang part. He always had the yang part. That's why when he did the Kurama, he was like, and he wanted the white Zetsu, and it was like so full of life and stuff. That's why. And that's why also when Minato revived, he was a little darker because he was using the yin, so the dark, you know. But Yeah, so most likely it's a divine power issue, some form of yin yang seal. So it's most likely, since we got true secret oils that can raise a piece of soul and stuff like that, and we got yin yang that, like I said, great stuff for nothing. So it really could affect things that's outside of chakra. They can get past that conversation where people say you don't you gotta have chakra for certain things. It's going to be bypassing that. And then why would it work on anyone that outstrill her? He automatically think that Rukia outstrills Ada. And that's where he was wrong. Because she doesn't. Like, not trying to downplay Rukia. Rukia is a good fighter. She got good ability. She, a skill fighter and got good abilities. Her stuff, her Bankai is a very problem. But I can't name 10 people from Naruto, not even bullshit, and they can bypass that. And some of them I can name without even, say just his fifth powers and all this shit. And so many questions that I'm positive have unprobable answers. So he's thinking automatically he don't have answers. And it ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? So,
why would it work on a spiritual something of a master at this, as you guys will soon see? So, those are all my questions. These are all my things. Now, what are the issues with his response so far? Well, is that feats are shown. She has the whole village enchanted. So, here's the thing about Naruto.
thing about that is he's nitpicking on this one because he talking about, this part he was like, it's not the village, it's the whole world. And that's okay. Like he said, whole village, whole world, same, if you know it affected the whole world, then you should know it had a feat. And they had a potent feat. And then to the point that people will forget, even if about the ability, even if they learning stuff in their face that is proven, like literally a DNA test could be showing that they're not the father of this character, and that character would still say, "Oh, this is my son. Oh, this is my dad." Like the kid would just take over the whole world because like it's crazy. Some people just look at things and be like, oh, and then when it's happening in certain series, they're like, oh yeah.
Naruto. Same for Pastor Prince. I already know this
Hold on.
abilities necessarily, right? You cannot then assert that since it works on villagers in her verse, and even people like Naruto and Sasuke, that it will work cross-verse. So what I'm doing here is I already know this information when I'm asking my questions. I'm being a little facetious, and the conversation doesn't get to the point where I'm going to end up explaining that eventually, but it doesn't come into not. He asked the whole argument, or at least that part of the argument, rests on that recklessy right there. I've said this twice, and I haven't responded with what everything in the Soul Society is made of reishi, and nothing up to that. So, I correct him and say, the whole world.
The whole world, and that tell us nothing about the potency and who it can affect. You're missing the part where it said that Otsutsuki's like, I don't know.
Because he says that she affected people in her village. I correct him. I said, oh no, it wasn't just people in her village. She affected the whole world. But this would still tell us nothing about the potency and who else it can affect. I repeat my question because he did not answer it. Has Ida's ability worked on a spirit? And then I say, no hacks has nearly anything to do with power in Naruto/Boruto. But if you're arguing cross-verse, you need feats and scaling to justify it actually working. Because he said, remember, it has nothing to do with power level. as if Naruto is a show that has anything to do with power level for the most part at all, right? I don't even know why he would assert that, but anyways, so that's my whole answer to his little shtick right there. And then he says it can affect everyone aside from Otsutsuki. And mind you guys, I've let him say this twice now. He's now said this twice, and I haven't responded with what I'm going to say yet, because I like to make sure people dig themselves into a hole before I like drop the bomb on them, or before I tie the noose around their neck. I like to make sure they dig themselves into that hole first. So he says it can affect everyone aside Otsutsuki, right? That was his answer to the whole world thing. I asked, has Ida's ability worked in a spirit? He says, I don't get the question. Rukia can feel emotion and is bound to the physical plane. I don't even know what that means. What do you mean bound to the physical plane? Are we talking the planets? Are we talking the world of the living? Because everything in the Soul Society is made of reishi. And yes, you can argue it's physical, but that would be the spiritual plane. Just because they happen to have emotions or instincts, that's not how abilities work. That's not how arguments work. That's not how scaling works. So, yeah, let's go to the other.
Now, what I wanted to talk about that me and him already had this debate before in November. Having this in December of this month. We already had this in November. You stayed the ability, this is me. Stayed the ability to create a Naruto verse on the Erika can't control it. Because she's not also because they had limits as well. Sadness had limits. Omnipotent, I got Momoshiki statement. Got a thing that's from the I think one the data books, not data books, volumes. See, I was just looking at the game. God created the current world. All about that materialize any thought. I always about it only Otsutsuki can handle. You control it. So talked about it. Whoever it also make whoever faced about omnipotence forget the ability to create and die. You see every source of mention that the ability is speculation about it, include the good with this, but yeah, that had to probably done anything so I mess with conscious thing. Say it's not speculations. Momoshiki said it created the world. Then the chapter thing said that then double down Omnipotence saying it created the world. The speculation is there that it's not. It create any desire to reality, and that's true. Like I just showed. Then I showed another one. There you go. Yeah, I showed. I don't know about one. So it didn't change reality. It's good to hear that powerful feet. I said biggest feet we know is creating the universe. The smallest feet we know is creating, like you said, the ability is literally make anybody desire reality. I'm not going to limit the ability to what we've seen in series. Multiple scenes saying that it created the world. I'm not going to limit it. If it says that it created everybody's desire, it can't create everybody's desires. They have certain limits. Well, if you're not Otsutsuki, you have this power, and then you can create it, you can control it. If you are Otsutsuki, you know how to use this power, and you can create anything that you want. Like, it's not hard. Like, I don't understand it. You got this statement. This is basically like the database, the Naruto database. It's like the Boruto database. It's like a Boruto data book. And then you got the statement of what I just showed you, where it was in the Boruto Volume 1. And then I also showed you what Momoshiki said it. Like, 3 things. And you still saying, well, it's just speculations. It's not speculations. it's literally say the will to make anything. It's the ultimate power, the will to create anything. Let's see. It's the ultimate power to materialize any thought. It will absolutely materialize everything that's omnipotent. And even though old boy made a big, you know what I'm saying? He said to people, he did not. Did he have it or not? What can you prove that he had that? Say he had it, and again, as many things that said the same thing as translate. I'm sure you translate the what you were into, and you seem like you don't want to agree because it create the world because it was showing what said, but Omnipotence created the world. I know that shit with that effort. There's nothing proving that it did. But it's nothing that's proven that it did. And I just showed you see how he said that, and even though I just showed him like 3 things that said that it created the world, it was the ability to create the world. Let me see. Who came God and used to create the current world. And ability to say that first possessed by Ososuke who attained God and used to let me read that other one again. It's a technique that had once been used by Ososuke God that became a God and created Omnipotence, the ultimate power that only omnipotent God can control. It's a divine power within the power. It is said that God used it to use it in the process of creating a world. It says the same thing 3 times. This is showing you that if you throw feats at people, they still not listening to it, bro. They still not listening to it. Because you throw feats at people and they still not listening to it. They want to believe whatever they want to believe. And then if y'all want to be like, yeah, where you get the thing about Ada, about omnipotence only affecting also suitcase and stuff. And so you got him having the identity of charm power. Look at 2 years old, blah, blah, blah. But he said identity of the charm power. So you remember he explained that charm power is not actually the charm. It's what he said. He said it's not charm. It's omnipotence. And that's how we explain what omnipotence was, because it's then said charm is a byproduct of it. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, it's like y'all missed the. Only reason I'm not on videos because they didn't pay for the thing, so I'm trying to. Hey, it will go all gender eyes. I ain't explaining much on that. Yeah, this is a true nigga, a charm power, the divine power that she can't even control. You know, like I said before. I'm not gonna go to that. What I'm talking about. And then I thought about it. I'm like, it's the divine power. You have how Roman that use yin and yang, the light and dark. I think I said it already. But like, that's something. Here we go. Omnipotence doesn't affect Kawaki, who also super gains from Ada and the caster. It was for Ada and the caster. That's no reason I choose that. You got Momoshiki saying that, and then you got Amato saying. Let's see, I'm trying to find that. I don't know what it said. It doesn't affect those Suki's. All people she love. When she was going to go, There's two types of heart my ability can steal. One is blood relative, and the other one's also sucky. There you go, right there. You got that right there that explains that stuff right there. And the problem is that he said it in that stream that he read it and he ain't seen no statement about it. And yeah, there you go right there. And then you also got these videos. You got durability, genjutsu,
Complete hypnosis versus genjutsu. Which one is more superior and why? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Ab-Stract, and this video aims to answer the following questions. Who has the superior illusions and techniques? Bad that you don't even have to be that analytical to figure out if you're seeing one. With Sasuke's help, Sakura was able to figure out an illusion by realizing they were on the same damn floor they walked up in the first place. Let me put it into full context. During the Chunin exam, the Genin had to report to the third floor where the Chunin exam was supposed to happen. The leaf Chunin put an illusionary genjutsu on the second floor to switch the room numbers to that of the third floor. So Sakura, being the analytical genius she is, astutely figured out that they were on the wrong floor. Now how about that? She realized they couldn't have been on the third floor because they had only walked up 2 flights of stairs to begin with. See, Kyoka Suigetsu would have actually made her conclusion impossible by altering the entire appearance of the building itself. Now, there's a filler episode in OG Naruto where Iruka is testing the capabilities of Naruto and Sasuke to basically see if they're ready for the Chunin exams. And much like Kakashi, Iruka uses a genjutsu involving Sasuke, making Sakura think that he had been hurt or whatever. So the way Sakura figured out Iruka's genjutsu was an illusion was by realizing Sasuke would never ask her out on a date or be concerned about her. Are you guys serious? See, most Naruto illusions are dispelled when there are very noticeable inconsistencies to the world around them. Meanwhile, we have Kyoka Suigetsu being active for a whole 3 days and thoroughly examined by Unohana, who by the way found nothing strange with his blood, how he looked, or his cause of death. So Kyoka Suigetsu has a longer time frame than any genjutsu in Naruto, and it has the capabilities to alter.
Let me stop you right there. And then, this is me. We explaining things something else. So I was like, we ain't talking about that. Spiritual energy, and that's how it should be used, and that should be used cross battle. Explain that last part. Genjutsu is primarily falls in the realm of yin. And let me read that part. So you made that for blah blah blah. This is a rough translation, but it's mostly it's the fourth of the book, I think, but it's got most of it. I screenshot it, but whatever. You may therefore wonder whether the Uchiha can harness the yin yang release. The answer is no. For example, even though the Sharingan can't be said to create the form out of night, you will find that genjutsu primarily falls within the realm of yin release. There are also many shinobis that have inherited to 11 yin release doesn't belong to the 5 elements and is also used in element fashion. For example, in the Akabuchi clan, use yang release life to create their body mass for power, and then the Yanara clan use yin release to stretch and alter their shadow. They're basically just a self-explanatory. In this way, even though they are Uchiha and Senjutsu, the 2 things that came from Hagoromo kids, the Shinobi Heart and Chakra, and Shinobi Heart and Chakra, and all that stuff basically, Jutsu was most certain roots in the fragment of yin and yang release. And then you got yin yang release. Yin release can be create form out of naught, and then yang release can instill life in that form. And deity used to define these manipulation use these 2 properties. The creation of all things jutsu means he could create all things he want by using yin yang release. He likewise created the 9-tailed bodies from 10-tailed chakra, making them another gift of yin yang release. Later, Uchiha clan with 10 inherited power to yin release, Sharingan, genjutsu, yang release, high chakra, high life force, etc. Like, I got this body man, the imagination and spiritual energy which form the basis of being power. He created and shaped the form of nothingness. Spiritual energy, by the way. My imagine vitality and physical energy, the physical body. You know, form the yang, they will be born into that life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
to your senses so well you believe the world around you. Now let's take a look at the second Mizukage.
and then the thing about that is, then I want to explain that bleach, not many people use genjutsu like that. And then you got the Naruto world where a lot of people could use genjutsu too, and they found ways to get out of it. I don't understand why people, when it comes down to Naruto, they always throw down that thing that you don't have chakra and you shouldn't be able to use, where it uses spiritual energy. And then if you go research like Bleach, you go to see how they use their senpatsu. They use their spiritual energy inside their body. They manipulate their spiritual energy inside their body, etc., etc. Like, it explains. Then they're the same thing. And then you go battle, even if you don't do equalization, you go battle. You should know which is stronger than which, you know what I'm saying? Just by the feats those two characters had, the way they fight, etc., etc. And Omnipotence has been a divine power. Rukia will instantly be trapped. She's not like, you can't call it a no limit fantasy where it was stated, hey, no, Suzuki's are blood relatives. Yeah, blood relatives of Suzuki and Suzuki and the caster, Right? It explained to you just like it explained to you 3 different ways of everything else, and you still not listening to it. But the thing about that is,
who does a mass illusion
when he talk about
no shinobi on the battlefield is able to defeat his genjutsu, let alone defeat him. And mind you, we have people like Gada and the Tsuchikage there. They come to the making this claim. I suggest you watch my genjutsu explain video. But examples of this include the Force of Death genjutsu, the genjutsu used by Izumo and Katetsu, and the second Mizukage's clan genjutsu. These are all real-time illusions, and again, they do not affect one's chakra. The reason I am making the distinction between the two is because this is a very nuanced conversation.
He said it does not affect one's chakra. Elaborate.
Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today we're going to cover application and execution. So in this video, we'll be looking at and breaking down what genjutsu is. So let's start with what Jiraiya has to say about genjutsu and see if it aligns with what we actually see happening. Jiraiya says to Naruto, genjutsu is something that works on your opponent's 5 senses to control the chakra flowing through and linking their cranial nerves. If you're caught in a genjutsu, now keep that phrase in mind because it's very important. If you're caught in a genjutsu, you must try your best to stop your chakra flow. While in genjutsu, the chakra in your head is being controlled by your opponent. If you use more power to disrupt your chakra flow, you can cancel the genjutsu. He then goes on to...
So it basically means that even though, yeah, you have chakra, just like it's in the Naruto world, because that's basically what they explaining. You have chakra in your head, your nervous system. It's gonna be fucked up if somebody uses genjutsu on you. The thing about that is, they using your chakra to fuck you up. So the only thing you need to do is manipulate your chakra to stop them from fucking your mind up.
Say, as another way to cancel it, someone must be touching your body and placing their chakra into yours to disrupt the flow. Now that we have a thorough explanation of genjutsu from a reliable source, let's start with the genjutsu that we see early on in the series and make our way to the end of series 1s. When Kakashi is first breaking down the ninja combat styles, Sakura has the privilege of being the one he uses genjutsu on. He makes a visual illusion of Sasuke bloody and covered in wounds. Now the psychological damage of seeing Sasuke like that is enough to put her out of the fight. but in every version and translation, Kakashi says something along the lines of Sakura fell for that genjutsu. This tells us that there are genjutsu you can in fact not fall for, like the ones Jiraiya was talking about that you get caught in, and that the genjutsu Kakashi was using can be seen through with some rational method. Keep that in mind. The second time we see an illusion casted is when Team 7 has to make their way to the third floor of the Chunin exam.
You know, it's an illusion that shell clones, not multi-shell clone, shell clone jutsu, but just shell, with the shell clone jutsu, just like the one path. The one that we learned in the beginning of Naruto, it was once of illusion. But keep going.
We find out Izumo and Katetsu have disguised themselves and casted an illusion to make the second floor look like the third floor. The first thing Sasuke says, and this is across all versions and translations, is for them to drop the genjutsu surrounding the area, not to stop casting genjutsu on everyone there. This tells us that it's a visual illusion only and one that you can fall for, not to be mistaken with a mental attack or a genjutsu you're caught in. And how do we know for certain this is only a visual illusion? Well, aside from Sasuke saying it's an illusion surrounding the area, to overcome this genjutsu, none of them have to do the required methods Jiraiya mentioned for stopping genjutsu. It only took for them to realize they were on the same floor they walked up, and the numbers did not match for them to realize it was an illusion. And before you guys say this is before they were actually taught about genjutsu by Jiraiya, so they wouldn't have any way of knowing how to get out of it, let me remind you, number one, according to Sasuke right here, Sakura does have the know-how of genjutsu, plus Sakura and Shikamaru did the exact same method Jiraiya talked about to stop Kabuto's feather illusion genjutsu. So we know for certain this isn't an attack on their chakra. Before we move on to the second type of genjutsu, let's take a look at the one that is...
And there's different type of genjutsu that are you going for the illusion one? There's different type of genjutsu. It's not just one genjutsu and can fuck with you. But keep going.
Occurs in the Force of Death. During the latter stages of the Force of Death, Team 7 plus Kabuto is set upon by some rain ninja who have placed a wide genjutsu over the area. In fact, the genjutsu is so good, Team 7 plus Kabuto are essentially tired out from going in circles all day. Shortly after they discover this deception, another genjutsu starts happening in multiple black figures. Now, let's take a look at the second type of genjutsu. There are many to pick from, but I'll choose the three that encapsulate my point and maybe touch on a few others. Starting off, we have Kurenai's genjutsu, Tree Binding Death, which she uses on Itachi and Kasami. It allows for her to trap and immobilize her opponent to a tree, which she would then come out of and kill with a kunai. Now, from the events around this, we can tell straight away that this is a mental attack and would fall into the category of genjutsu you're caught in. But how can we know for certain Itachi and Kasami aren't just seeing an illusion in real time? Well, for a few reasons. Number one, as we'll see in more examples, the time passage for a mental genjutsu is very different than an illusion happening in real time. Here we can see Kurenai and Itachi have an entire conversation when in actuality, little to no time has passed in the world around them. Mind you guys, Kisame was trapped in this as well and still managed to not get tagged by Asuma. So this would tell us that the time it took for Itachi to reverse the genjutsu and have a complete conversation with Kurenai was less than even a second in the real world. I mean, I doubt Asuma would miss an opportunity to attack if he had one. The second sign is the victim and the genjutsu caster will usually both be standing still. Now this can be for one of two reasons: to fight for control in the genjutsu like how we saw with Kurenai and Itachi, or because the genjutsu carried out hasn't been fully completed. Now let's take a look at Itachi's Tsukuyomi. This is another mental attack that gives him complete control of the genjutsu his opponent is experiencing. We even see here that Itachi can control how long an opponent experiences time within the genjutsu, as he subjects Kakashi to 72 hours of constant torture. And again, the telltale signs of it being a mental attack are present. Both characters are standing still due to the time difference when participating in a genjutsu, and little to no time has passed in the real world, as stated by Asuma. The third sign I want to put in.
The crazy part, those two people that he mentioned, is those two people that couldn't physically, they know about genjutsu, know how to get out of genjutsu, and couldn't get out of Itachi genjutsu. The only way Sasuke got out of it at that time when he forcefully fucked himself out of that motherfucker. That was cool.
Is that these mental attacks are just that, attacks. They can take a toll on the victims of them. Now the next series of genjutsu we're going to cover perfectly covers all bases of this conversation. In the opening...
And then also, Itachi Tsukuyomi can kill people.
Battle between Sasuke and Itachi, we see the brothers of the Uchiha are having somewhat of a genjutsu battle. with Sasuke killing Itachi twice but being no closer to the truth than when he first arrived. What's interesting and important about this, though, is that every move Sasuke is making is in Itachi's masterfully layered genjutsu. The actions Sasuke takes are in direct response to whatever Itachi wants him to see. And despite Sasuke's claims of being able to see through genjutsu, he failed to do so in every instance of this battle. We see Zetsu comment about how the two of them have just been standing there for a while, so we already have confirmation this is a mental genjutsu, i.e. when you get caught in and not when you fall for. In fact, Itachi is so damn good, he's using illusions whilst talking to Sasuke to accentuate the point about Sasuke being his new light. Then we fast forward to Itachi using the Tsukuyomi, and again we start to see the telltale signs that this is a mental attack. Sasuke is somewhat visibly fatigued from the experience. Both genjutsu participants are standing still, and practically no time has passed in the real world, again confirmed by a comment from Zetsu. So by now, you should understand the differences in these types of genjutsu in respect to their applications and executions. The illusions that take place in real time, i.e. genjutsu you can fall for, are in fact happening in real time. As far as the series is concerned, there's been no feats of resisting, seeing through, stopping, or negating someone else's illusions. The best way to deal with any real-time illusion is to find inconsistencies in reality and proceed accordingly. This branch of genjutsu does not affect your chakra like how Jiraiya said, but it does in fact work on your senses primarily.
But anyway, back to what I said, omnipotence it affect everybody that's except also Suki and blood relatives. They have affected everybody. They have shown to affect everybody. It's shown to grow cross streaks, and it's also it does charm little join thing. Like that's a byproduct of it. Just like the switcheroo thing that's happening, that's a byproduct. So you got Ada got a basically another ability, or you want to say she got people want to fall in love with her, and that's desire, and people, you know what I'm saying. That's what happened, and she lived it. That's a passive ability. That's forever passive ability. Like. People continue to sleep on
Sight. In their account,
bro. But watch your channel. I'll link up in the description.